So, kind of moving away from insurance, we're going to look at some different types of investments, which, again, once you kind of get a real job and you start making real money, probably not a bad idea to look into some of this stuff. And again, I'm just going to kind of give you like a little bit of general knowledge. So, hopefully, you go into things kind of knowing a little bit, but it doesn't hurt to ask questions. So, probably the very first type of investment I ever had was called a certificate of deposit. I bought one of these back when I was in high school. I just had some money from like a birthday or graduation. It was probably graduation, high school graduation, and I didn't really need the money, so I just invested it. I bought one of these certificates of deposits. Basically, it's a savings account, sorta. You buy one of these certificate of deposits, and basically you're promising to leave the money in the bank and not touch it for a period of time, maybe a year, maybe 18 months, 5 years, 10 years. It really just kind of depends on what you're able to get through the bank. When you do that, though, you get paid a higher than normal interest rate. All right, so you're going to get quite a bit more money out of it than if you were just to put your money in a savings account and leave it alone, because you are guaranteeing the bank that money is going to be there, and you're not going to withdraw it after 2 months. So if you do, I mean, it is still your money. You can't take it out of the bank. You're going to suffer a penalty because you signed a contract saying, "Hey, I'm going to leave this money in the bank for a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever." And if you withdraw it early, there's a penalty involved in that. And again, that can change depending on what you set up in the paperwork. So this isn't going to be super hard. I mean, there's a lot of kind of math that can go on behind the scenes. I'm going to give you a table. You're going to look up a value and basically do some multiplication. Okay, so this kind of summarizes everything that I just said. It depends. Everything depends. It depends on how much money you want to invest, how long you want to leave it in the bank, the interest rates that you can get, and how it is set up to compound. We did a compound interest thing way back. If you want to go check any of that stuff out, basically what happens when you compound interest, they basically at the end of a time frame, they calculate your interest and they add that back into your account. So then when they calculate the interest the second time, you're earning interest on top of the interest that you've already earned. It is compounding your earnings. Okay. Some of these can be set up to compound daily, monthly, or quarterly. Quarterly means 4 times a year, so every 3 months, because there's 12 months in a year. Okay. Again, it really just kind of depends on the setup. Okay, so jump right into a calculation here. This is the table that we're going to be looking at. I didn't have the time to get it all nice and pretty, so I just took a picture of what we're going to be using, and we'll use that. So down here, we've used these kind of tables before. Instead of having to do these big funky calculations, this table is per $1 invested. So if we invest $500, we're going to take whatever amount, multiply it by 500. Or if we invest $10,000, take whatever amount times 10,000. Okay, so we don't have to do any kind of these weird division things. This is straight up for every dollar we earn this much money. Okay, so we're going to take the principal. So if we invested, say, $500, $500 times whatever in the table. And then one of the questions are sometimes going to ask how much interest was earned. Well, if you figure out how much money you made, how much money you have at the end of it, and you subtract how much money you had at the beginning of it, the overage, the difference is your interest. Okay, two simple calculations. All right, so Paul invests $4,000 in a 1-year certificate of deposit. So there's two different types of CDs listed here. I've got a 1-year, and then this other chunk is a 4-year. And the interest rates are listed down the left-hand side, and the amounts you earn for daily, monthly, and quarterly compounding. Okay, so pay attention to what the problem actually, you're going to have to read these kind of carefully. A 1-year CD earns interest at 8%, and it is compounded monthly. So monthly is my period, compounded 8% for a year. Okay, there we go. That's the number I need. So to figure out how much money he has in this account after a year, I'm going to take $4,000. I'm going to multiply it by that 1.082, looks like 3 nines. Okay. I know that seems kind of extraneous to go that far out in your decimal point, but they're trying to give you, because you're multiplying by such a big number like 4,000, you're going to wind up needing those accurate decimals. Otherwise, you're kind of getting screwed on the money. 0.82999. Whoops. All right, so at the end of the day here, at the end of the year rather, Paul earns $4,331.996. Oh, that's going to round all the way up to $4,332. Okay, so then the second question is, what is the interest earned? So I'm going to take that 4,332 and subtract off the 4,000. I can do that in my head. That is 332. Okay, so two questions. How much is in the account afterwards? And then when you subtract off the original investment, that overage is how much he actually made in interest. Okay, so pay attention whether it's a 1 year or a 4 year CD, and then how often it's compounded, the interest rate. It's like a table within a table. All right, one more here. Robert invests $8,000 in a 1 year CD with 8.25% annual interest rate. So, compounded quarterly. That was what I was looking for. Okay, so he's got $8,000 and I need 8.25. So here, a 1 year CD compounded quarterly. So that is 1.08, 1.085087. Yikes. So 8,000 times 1.085087. So my guy Robert has $8,680.70 when I round that. So if I subtract off the original 8,000, because that's the question, find the interest earned, he made $680.70. Okay, they're super easy questions. The hard part of this is the table, right? Because you've got this big table for you've got a 1 year loan, a 4 year loan, all those different interest rates, 3 different columns in each one. It's big, but I think you'll be all right with it.